Welcome to Wes Explains Best. Today we're going to be doing a Khan Academy tutorial on completing the square. This is the intro. Now what does it mean to complete the square? When we're talking about completing the square, we're talking about a perfect square trinomial. So if I have an example, x squared plus, we'll say 8x plus 16. This is a perfect square trinomial. Why? Well, a perfect square trinomial means when we factor it, when we factor it, these two binomials in the parentheses are exactly the same. So let's go ahead and factor this just to see an example. So we have x and x there, and now we need to think of factors of 16. Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. Factors of 16 that will add up to 8 to my middle term. Well, that's clearly 4 and 4, positive, positive. Notice how these are exactly the same. Well, because they're exactly the same, we can rewrite this as x plus 4 quantity squared. That is a perfect square trinomial. So when it's talking about completing the square, we're talking about adding some sort of number that will make the whole thing a perfect square trinomial. Now, just the constant. We're just thinking about the constant. So if our example is x squared plus 10x, we're trying to think, okay, what number would make this a perfect square trinomial? Well, what's the pattern? If you take a look at our first example, we notice that we took our 8 and we divided it by 2 to get this 4. Well, how do we get the 16? Well, we got the 16 by squaring the 4. So again, we take the middle term, the middle coefficient, I should say. We'll put middle coefficient, I'll just put co. Divide it by 2, and then we square it, and that will tell us what we need to add for this. So we're going to take half of 10 divided by 2, and we are going to square it. Well, half of 10 is 5. 5 squared is 25. Why does this work? Well, x squared plus 10x plus 25. We can put that into two parentheses, and once we factor it, x, what times itself gives, or something times something gives us 25, but also adds up to 10. That's 5 and 5. See how that works? We got the same thing twice. It completed the square. 25 was the number we needed. So we're going to go ahead and type 25 in here. Okay, next question. Same deal. We have to figure out what we divide, or excuse me, what we add on in order to complete the square. So the rule is we take our middle coefficient, I don't know why I said that again, middle coefficient, divided by 2, and then we square it. The more time you guys see this written, the more time you write it, the better you'll get. So we're going to do negative 12 over 2, and we're going to square it. So we get negative 6 squared gives me 36, and that's my answer, 36. Okay, next question. I'm just going to do this one. So you see we're missing the number. We need to take half the coefficient of x, which is 1, square it, and that's going to be 1. Next one, we take half of 14x, we square it, we get 49. And it's as simple as that. I just wanted to give you, I know it's a quick exercise, but I wanted to give you a sum up just in case you're unfamiliar what completing the square is. And if all goes according to plan, you should hear that music. And until then, be good, be kind, be true, be nice, and be honest. Have a good one.